Hey, welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk.
So hey, just before we get started here, I want to take a minute here, just for a second. I'm going to hijack the whole show for me. It's all about me. It's all about me today. I want to apologize, dear listener. I want to apologize. It is my fault there was no show last week. It is my fault entirely. I'm taking extreme ownership. I've read the book. I know the things.
I've read the book.
You have to do it meaningfully, Lambo.
Hey, I hijacked the show.
Freudian slip, Jaren.
Anyway, that's all.
That's
Continue
true.
on. Carry on. I just want to apologize for the
right.
things that I did and take full responsibility. It's my fault.
All right. Thank you for that.
I can't calendar. That's what I learned.
That's great. Yep. We did have that conversation.
I did call Tony today. He was in the shower, but it was going to be a solid joke. I called Tony 15 minutes before the podcast started, and I was just going to let him know that I'll be here.
I almost did that.
Yeah.
I didn't. The shower ruined the joke.
It did. Freaking shower. All right. This is the Geek Show Help Desk, where we talk about tech, gadgets, and science-y related things, science-adjacent things. Let's kick it off by introducing our panelists. Coming in the number one spot, I was hedging my bets this week. I saw an opportunity for Lang to come on just in case one of these guys bailed again.
We did not.
Here he is.
We did not bail.
Forever sub right here. I'm Lang. I'm back. Happy to be back. Find me on Instagram. You ready for this? I'm going to confess. I have 5 different Instagram accounts. Ready, set, go. Lang CCV, Gunplus, Skyfire, Lang's Lashings, Skyfire Fireside, and Skyfire Photography. Go find me.
That is too many. That is too many Instagrams.
I argue it's not enough.
Is he Kirkland Owen or am I Kirkland Lang?
Well,
because
either
I feel
way,
like
it's a compliment. I love Kirkland stuff.
Yeah, totally. I'm just saying, but slightly, it's the white label stuff.
If you want to go Great Value or Western Family, well, that's a different story.
I don't know if I want to do that.
No, see, I'm up here in the Pacific Northwest, and we still have a Fred Meyer, not a Smith, so it's Sam's Choice stuff, and it's so good.
Dang.
So I'm a Sam's Choice Owen.
There you go. Sam's
Myers.
Choice. That's right.
That's a name
Sam's
I
Choice.
haven't heard
I don't know if
in
it's
a
the other way
long
around though.
time.
I only have one Instagram account, and it's
Owen. He's got one Instagram account.
That's it. Go follow me there, I guess.
Nice.
What is it?
I don't know.
I haven't checked in years.
I haven't even opened that app, but there you go. Or
All right.
on Twitter @TechNoan.
It's Lando.
Hey, it's Lando. Yeah, you see me here. I have officially deleted Twitter. I have not looked at it in 2 whole weeks.
Whoa.
What?
Are you so much happier?
Well, yes and no.
No,
Because I switched to Threads.
He's fooling us.
So-
He's fooling us. He
You
deleted
switched
Twitter,
to
not
Threads.
X.
No, I deleted the Twitter app. The Twitter app sucks. I switched to Threads, and I'm fully on Threads now, and it's fine.
Threads is trash.
It's
I like Threads.
Fine. It's
just
part of the Fediverse, which I hear is kind of a big deal. I don't understand it myself, but from what I understand, it's a big deal.
It's like email,
Here
but
it
for
comes.
social networks. How many times do I have to tell you this?
That still doesn't make any sense to my brain. I don't understand. Okay, hold on. So if we're going to talk about this, let's talk about this for a second, Jared.
No, we're not. We're going to keep going in
Anyway,
the intros.
here's
It's Jaren.
Hey, I'm Jaren, your favorite Jaren. You probably know.
Probably
Thank
I
you.
know 2,
Two
and you're
Rs.
not my favorite, just so you know.
Do most Jarens spell their names with 2 R's?
No,
Only
my
the
buddy
good
names-
ones.
My buddy
Only
did.
the good ones.
Oh,
And we have a
that's
host.
good.
His name is Tony.
I
Hey,
see. What's that
I'm
with
there.
2 N's?
That's
Quad
me.
T.
Yeah. 4 T's, TTT,
There you
TONY.
You ever
Check me out on
gonna
Twitter
explain that?
at Quad T
Tony.
Tony.
Nope,
And,
he can't hear.
Nope. And the other Geek Show stuff. Yeah, huzzah. All right.
We did it. Boy, that was
Now,
rough.
let's move along to emails. Do we have any?
We have multitudes.
Whoa.
Whole show, email show.
Ooh, I like that.
I was about to, and then Tony invited me back. I was mid-email, so.
I cut you off and made you come in person.
All right, we've got an email from Chris. He says, which email should be used when asking questions about the viability of Intel Arc or UHD GPUs for gaming?
Oh, that's for gaming. If it's for gaming email. geekshowarcade@gmail.com. But actually, you know what? If he has a question about that, we should address it in Arcade because I have an article about the Intel GPUs, actually.
Okay, well, we're going to punt that
Save
to
it.
Arcade then.
All right.
All right, we got an email from Michael. His subject line, New Dad Gizmos and Gadgets.
Nude ad gizmos?
Nude ad.
Super
Love
Bowel.
Careful. Safe browse.
Hello.
Safe browse.
Hello, Tech Gents and Jean-Claude Van Lambeau. I am a new... I'm a new father. My baby is 8 months old now, and I would like to know if there were any gizmos or gadgets you guys used when they were my baby's age, and if there are any I should get when he's a little older. Anything from learning to entertainment or tools. Thank you, Tech Titans and Optimus Landbo.
I got one.
I know when you guys are going to say first. First thing you guys are going to say whenever
Steam
this
Deck.
question comes up. Owlet.
Owlet, for sure.
That's for
I
the
knew
baby stuff. How old are his kids
He's
now?
8 months.
8 months.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
still.
Owlet's the one. That's a great one.
No, I didn't care about that.
That way you can stress about it from your room without having to check on it.
It is nice.
You're not going to get up. But.
You have to get to the point.
dissenters.
You have to get to the point where you don't care anymore, and the Owlet just delays that point.
Just realize you have millions of sperm. Like, just... Was that not
What's
good?
happening?
I think he's saying that he brought one into this world. He can bring another one in just as easily.
I was
Or
trying to know what the
replacement
baby's
baby? That's
name is
dark, dude.
personally.
I know, that was dark. That was some dark humor. I apologize.
My suggestion is a gadget for yourself, and that would be a Steam Deck. That's my suggestion.
Actually, yeah,
Classic
something
Jerry.
portable because you're going to be up with the kid and not have any. Other
I would
gadgets where
say,
you can
yeah.
have on
Or
you.
an Audible account.
Yep.
You know? You're going to
So
be...
what about for stuff
Noise
that,
canceling headphones. That saved.
Ooh.
That saved my children.
What about for stuff that will actually benefit the child, like the question
Oh.
he asked?
Noise canceling headphones does benefit the child
tell you-
because
I'll
they
tell you
remain
this.
alive.
I'll tell you this right now. Get the Little Einstein's videos. They're usually at the library in DVD form. I know you guys don't know what that is.
Probably
but
on YouTube, I bet.
But you might be able to find them on YouTube. You can also
Little
find them
Einstein's
on...
in our favorite rocket ship, right?
No, not that one.
Which that
Or
one?
sorry, not Little Einstein's. It's Baby Einstein's. Baby
Okay.
Einstein's.
Because Little Einstein's. I don't
Developmentally, that stuff was a game changer for my kids. Like, full on. Like, we didn't plop them down in front of it all the time, but we would let them watch, like, an episode. And they're like little 20-minute, 30-minute episode, shows, like the whole thing. And I'll tell you, shape, color, reading, all the things, way faster.
So that put them like the top of their class in preschool.
Yeah, really horrible, actually.
Moved him up from an 8 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, these ones are way smarter. And so now they're talking back 3 years earlier than normal. It's a bunch of bullcrap is what it is. Never mind. Actually, you know what? I rescind that for you, don't do it. But Baby Einstein's, I would do that. And then once they get older, a Leap and Learner tablet. Those are like great little things.
If you're for the screen time thing for your children.
You have to control it, right? We also have, there's lots of things that you can get, but you still have to control that screen time. That's super important. The first batch, we didn't control screen time. We couldn't control screen time. But the second batch, the second batch, he's over there. I gotta be quiet. The 10 out of 10s, oh, totally. We managed that. So.
Actually, I do have a suggestion. We have a Hatch nightlight thing. It's a nightlight that has a sound machine in it, and when they're a bit older, like toddler age, it has a light that can turn a certain color at a certain time of day. So we told our kids, you can't get out of your room in the morning until your light turns green, and voila, we got more sleep. Yep.
Okay, interesting. Cool.
That
All
was
right. Well,
beautiful.
thanks for writing in.
One more.
Lang, you got one more?
Just one simple toy for like all ages, whether they're toddlers, baby, or older. Get reusable water balloons since it's summertime right now. Have you guys seen these?
Yeah.
I for sure thought you were going to say.
Half
I thought for sure
circles, look
you were
on
going to say a
Amazon.
Glock. No.
Wow.
No. Sorry.
Dark Owen has returned.
Dark.
Sorry.
Wow. Darth Owen has arrived. No, but
Yes.
look up on Amazon reusable water balloons. They're like plastic half circles with
we have 'em.
magnets.
So
Yeah.
awesome.
And they're so great for all ages because if you get little water balloons with little kids, they're going to eat those right up and you have the rainbow poop. So totally
Has that happened to you?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
not to me. Like I didn't eat them.
Oh, no.
But-
I didn't. That was
My
decades
poop
ago
was
for
never
me.
a rainbow.
No,
I
get
haven't eaten those
little
since I was
kids.
in my 20s.
So that's my recommend because my boys are 5 and 6 and we've been getting those for years. They
Plus-
literally wear them out.
Another bonus, you don't have to go pick up the water balloon shreds in the grass everywhere.
Oh,
You
that's
don't have
the
to try to be a cool dad that can wrap them up because that's what we did when we were kids.
No, dude. I did. I migrated from the single tie, which if you're there in that stage, cool.
Yep.
You got old.
You went
got
to the
young
bushel.
fingers. I went to the bushel, the hose thing,
Yep.
where it just fills up like 10 at a time, and then you just do a drop.
Oh, it's got that little rubber band on it. Huh?
Oh man.
So much plastic waste. It drives me crazy.
Balloon bushels.
I mean, plastic.
Get over here, lib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liblando.
One more email. One more email from Argo Spartan.
Hello.
Says, "Hey guys, hope this finds you well. Thoughts on the recent investment by VW into Rivian and the potential impacts on future EVs? Any inclination to getting one of these in the future? I'm partial to the R1S myself and their future hatchback." This is a timely email because this was actually on our show notes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed, Volkswagen gave Rivian $5 billion, which Rivian is so desperately needed.
Oh, it was like the lifeline that they were looking for.
Definite infusion they needed.
Rivian is still losing money on every single car they sell, so they really need to figure out their costs. And
I was reading an article, I think it was an article about this specifically, and they said that the CEO of Rivian said that by I want to say Q2 of next year, or maybe it was Q4 of this year. Anyway, sometime before the next year is up, they should be selling cars at least break even, if not profitable.
Yeah.
I hope so. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think I heard that on NPR. They were like tens of thousands they were losing on each one
Per car.
And I'm really hoping they pull out of that, because I drive by a Rivian dealership on my way home every day, and I'm just like, I need one.
I think they're awesome.
I love Rivian.
But if they go away and I'm stuck with it, I'm really stuck. So
Exactly.
All that cool EV stuff without any of the Musk baggage, it's it's great.
Well, and as soon as they announced that cash infusion, their stock shot up right after that. So, I mean, not only is it a cash infusion, but their stock is worth more now as a company as well. And so it's been a win-win for them. But I am also very interested in the hatchback. What is it? They're calling it the R2?
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks
I've ridden
rad.
in an R1S, and it's a very nice vehicle. Very solid, very well constructed.
If I had the money,
awesome.
I'd go for the R1T. I think the R1T is
I
a
also like the R1T,
fantastic
yeah.
small truck that's electric, and it's just going to get better. But they are pretty pricey. I mean, all trucks are, if we're being honest. But I really want to see how that first hatchback plays out, because that looks pretty great. Anyone else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Cool. Thanks for writing in, everybody. If you want to write us, it is geekshow.helpdesk@gmail.com. Simple as that. Let's see. What have we got to talk about here? Plastic bits. Well, I mean, we were talking about that a minute ago, so let's talk about plastic bits.
You guys made fun of me, so
Plastic bits in your bits is what Jaren's got here.
I actually have two penis stories today.
Yeah, Jaren's
Two
got all the
what?
stories.
Who's surprised?
I saw those.
Oh, this is the microplastics crap. This makes me so angry.
I'm excited for the story of the year, though, Jaren. I'm not gonna lie. I looked at
Yeah,
that.
it's a shocker.
Yep.
Yep. Did you guys bring any penis stories today?
I brought mine. I don't have any stories about it, though.
What were you
I
doing
can tell
with
some
yourselves?
stories if you'd like me to, but I don't think it's that kind of show.
We'll save that for the in between.
Well, anyway,
Heyo.
penis story number one. Microplastics have been discovered in human penises for the first time.
This is only the first time? I would have thought it'd been a long time ago.
We didn't want
Certainly
to.
won't
No,
be
we
the
just,
last.
we just didn't want to look before.
Yep. So microplastics have been found pretty much all over the earth at this point, even in areas where scientists would never thought would be there.
Like the penis.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Wow.
I wonder why it took them so long to figure out if it was in your penis or not, but it is. It's there.
Is there a point?
That's
with
the end of the
our-
story?
when we-
Drive right now. Yeah.
Is there a point where we have to like rate this differently if we say the P word too many times? Like,
No, it's the medical term. We're good.
okay,
Yeah. That's what you should be
Peanut.
teaching your kids to say.
penile.
Anyway,
Multiple.
direct quote from this article. The scientist said he wasn't surprised to find microplastics in the penis, as it is a, in quotes, very vascular organ, like the heart.
Huh. Vascular.
Can
What
confirm.
What can it do? What can it do, Jaron? What can it do?
They didn't say really any
It can
downsides
lead
at
to
all.
No,
I mean-
it can lead to smooth muscle syndrome.
Plastic is hard,
cause
right? If anything, that would just benefit.
Nope.
I think
going.
it restricts blood flow, and that's bad.
That is bad.
Lang, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm questioning subbing on this episode right now. This is getting interesting.
I don't blame
This
you.
is somebody's first time listening, guys.
No, time to go serious. Actually, there's a couple of studies where I work that they are actually studying BPA-free and different plastics in different organs. So I'm semi-familiar with this. If they start getting animals to test this, I'm going to be really worried. It's going to be weird.
Having to put plastic in an animal's ding-dong.
I don't think you have to put it there. It ends up there automatically. His
Yeah,
article
yeah,
says
check
4 out
there.
of 5
You- yeah, but
penises
you
they've
have to-
checked. And I assume they checked many.
Yeah.
They had
At
microplastics.
least 5.
Just 5.
And people aren't eating plastics like crazy. I bet they find it in the wild, like in animals, a lot more.
Oh. I saw an article the other day. This was
Raccoons,
a little while
they've
back.
got it. Trash pandas.
Yeah, well, they eat everything.
Yeah. Definitely have some microplastics.
It was talking about finding microplastics in like layers of the earth that haven't been uncovered in hundreds of thousands of years.
How does that work?
That's what I want to know. That sounds fishy to me. Like
hydraulic migration.
What? You're just making words up right now, Owen.
No,
What is this?
That sounds super good though, right?
You did. You just made it
Like,
up.
I know. Osmotic. It was
How
a
does it
toss
get-
up between hydraulic, because I'm like, oh, hydraulic fluid, or osmotic transfer.
I wanna
Osmosis,
know what
the
is
travel
the-
of water through physical material.
Membranes, yeah, but maybe that might be it.
Wait, so how long?
Like hundreds of thousands of years ago, in layers of dirt that haven't been uncovered for hundreds of thousands of years.
just
See,
water.
to me,
Lionel's penis hasn't been uncovered either, and there's probably
Hey-o.
plastic there too.
he's got kids. It's been uncovered at least twice.
Lando, what are your thoughts on this?
I think you're a dick, but that's beside the point.
Whoa!
On topic.
Yeah.
Technically,
Nailed
it's
it.
penis,
5 points to Lando.
In order to stay on point, we gotta say penis. He thinks you're a penis.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
Should
Yeah,
we
so but I saw that and I was like, does that mean that, to me, in my brain, logically, that means that there was some form of microplastic 100,000 years ago that we're not aware of.
Or it somehow got there through the wind, seeping through the ground.
Maybe.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's wind, erosion. They're micro. They can travel over the place.
Yeah.
The lands
maybe.
change.
I don't know. I'm putting my tinfoil hat on and
Tectonic
saying,
plates.
Speaking of micro,
I'm
Lando,
putting my-
what are your thoughts on this?
Okay.
Oh! That's
Whoa!
such a little
What was that?
finger.
That just happened? I didn't see anything.
Dude, the little
such a-
finger.
Ding dong.
Oh,
5 points to Lando. Okay, that's enough. I'm sorry.
You have to
Lando.
bore that out for YouTube, Tony. Sorry.
No, I'm not going to do that.
No.
It's fine.
We get one per show.
Everyone
we-
they need to
like
see
the
it.
rating.
They need to see it.
Should we slide into that?
They're
next
gonna learn
penis
it. Yeah,
story?
Tony's like, they're gonna learn it anyway. I
Yep.
guess you gotta let people see.
All right, let's move on to the next wiener story.
Yes.
Okay, this one's about a robot, a movable robotic face
Oh.
covered with living human skin cells. And
I
how?
saw
What does this
this.
have to do with a penis? You say? Well, the human cells
say that.
are
No,
isolated.
I'm not asking that.
Oh,
I was. Go ahead, Jaron.
thanks, Lando.
I
These,
I couldn't turn away from this story.
these human cells were isolated from juvenile foreskin.
Oh, gross.
Got to go look at the face. Go look at
yeah,
the face.
I implore you to open
Guys,
the article and
no,
look at the
yeah,
face.
Nope. I
the
can't
googly
now.
eyes
I
that they
did
put on
not.
it are what make
Freaking-
it disturbing.
Is this story of the year?
Yeah,
This
this
is
is story
I
of
mean,
the year.
What am I looking
Yeah.
at here?
that is
looks
foreskin.
like this is
That's a
the thing
robotic
off-
face.
I don't wanna
This is
click
a
it.
robotic
I don't wanna
face
click
made
it.
with foreskin, and it moves in real time
Now,
because
hang
it's
on.
flexible.
Now, hang on. It's made. It's not made from foreskin.
No,
It
the
was
cells are.
grown from the cells of foreskin.
So it's a
Okay,
foreskin.
Your
how is that not
explanation isn't
foreskin?
helping
That's
If you
the
grow,
site right now, Tony.
if you're growing that like science beef, it's
I'm
still
splitting
beef.
hairs. I'm splitting hairs, but I'm sticking with it.
What kind of hairs?
Yeah,
Don't-
like
you know,
curly ones.
Foreskin
It's
hairs. of
None,
course.
none, because you said it
Jared.
was juvenile.
Oh,
This,
good.
oh,
We are-
wait. So you're
we are-
saying this is when they
Jared broke-
circumcise, they keep the foreskin, they use that to
Exactly.
grow this?
That's what I am 100% assuming is what it is.
oh, I hate
yeah.
this so
no
much.
way.
Well, you got. I
No
mean,
way.
It looks
you don't
like
want
one
to
of
waste
those-
any pieces.
It looks like the thing you peel off the top
It's
of
a
your
new,
kombucha.
it's a new medical. No, these are they take cells and they made them grow in a lab. But
Right.
those cells are technically foreskin cells. Why would that be, Jaron?
They say it's
Because they're
flexible
flexible.
enough to convey emotions and
And
can potentially repair itself. How do you know if it's
flexible.
happy? That's what I want to know.
You might as well
smiling.
just
Oh, I know how you know if it's happy.
You know what else is flexible? Elbow skin, a weenus. Just use that skin.
There's so many other.
There's a lot
No,
of
I
flexible
think- I
skins
think-
around
But then
to
it would-
choose from.
I'm not gonna let.
But it's
Ling's
all
joke
kind of
go
craggly. It
unnoticed
looked like
here.
something
That
else
was
down
pretty
there.
dope.
Wow,
Like an
what
old
a
person.
show.
We'll
And it
go
looks
on.
like it looks like in the article that they oiled this one up.
It is
Oh,
very.
yeah.
It is
I mean,
very.
There's KY
moist.
all
It's
over
wet.
that.
Extremely
very wet.
moist.
Anyway,
Tony, this goes into my story. You should transition to that one.
Okay.
I
This
don't know
is
what
really
other storage you can do now. Where
this
can
is
we
really
go?
close to Rule 34. You know Rule 34, right?
No,
Yep,
Owen.
sure do.
No.
But like,
Be
this
quiet.
is like, who
Owen.
thought to do this? Just because we can do something doesn't mean we should.
You never. That Jurassic Park taught us that one.
That's right.
Yeah,
They did.
and-
Yeah.
But when you
This
look at the happy
face-
face of this foreskin robot,
Is that happy?
it's just worth it.
I assume that's a smile, Tony. It looks like a
Looks
slight
more like
curved
just
up.
a straight
It's
line.
it's
to
got a
me.
dimple. Look at the dimple on it.
This is
Yeah.
a straight line, and the words. If you could put a thought bubble on here, it would say, "Why do I exist?"
That's exactly what it would say.
Kill me.
And Jeff Goldblum would answer, "The foreskin will find a way."
What is my purpose?
Existence
You bring me
is
butter.
You pass the butter.
You bring me butter. Oh my god!
So many good quotes from that show.
All right, we're done with this.
Wow.
Moving on to something Lang said he could transition to.
no,
Let's
no,
see how
no.
that
I-
works.
No, I
Lando.
did
Lando.
not. I
Oh,
did
sorry,
not.
Lando. Lando's going to transition
So,
to this.
along the line of things, artificial grown things that have to do with AI, researchers at a Taijin University and the Southern University of Science and Technology in China have developed a robot with a lab-grown artificial brain. They combine the brain organoid. That's the word they use in the article.
I like that. It's a fun word.
With a neural interface chip to power the robot and train it to perform tasks like gripping objects and avoiding obstacles. So
what's going
just
on
when
in
you
the
thought AI wasn't scary enough, now we're gonna lab
No.
grow brains
This
and
is
combine
good.
it with AI.
This is good because if the AI relies on living tissue, it has a weakness. So
Yeah.
I think this is a great way to go. And
What's
we
going
need
on?
to we
What's
need to
going on
build
over,
in.
What's going on over the east? You know, the other place with the foreskin place, that was Tokyo. Something's going on over there. Eastern.
They just like to use
So,
all the pieces. That's
They're,
all.
they're calling this the
Okay.
brain-on-chip technology, and it's part of a brain-computer interface research that aims to combine the brain's electrical signals with external computing power.
So is it,
So
Organoid
just like the
is what
Matrix,
they're calling
jack
it.
in, baby.
They're calling it an organoid.
An organ. I
so
told you
is it
that.
a
I used that
synthetic
word.
Yeah,
brain,
that's
or is
weird.
it from other tissue, like some?
So
sort of
you
other-
need to find what synthetic means. So this is
In
grown
vitro
in
cultured
lab.
brain. So it's grown from biological
If that's synthetic,
components.
then yes.
No.
Crazy.
Anyway, I thought this was pretty cool. And like I said, if AI didn't scare you enough already, this is going to scare you even more.
They're using stem cells to make and just kicking those over to brain cells.
Stem cells from where?
Probably
That's
from
what-
umbilical
This
cords.
is,
That's where a lot
yeah.
of stem cells
Not
come from.
not foreskin, Jaren.
Nope.
You got my hopes up.
Moving
That looks
along.
Anyway,
like a
this is
lot
pretty
to
cool.
grow.
And I thought it was pretty neat. We're talking about it's the science thing. It's going to be probably my story of the year.
Oh, hey, you know
Jared.
what? We have another story about plastics. Now that you mention it,
These are all very related stories.
everything just flows.
We're making it happen,
like the
guys.
circle of life. Scientists have discovered a plastic-eating marine fungus
Oh, it's
on
about
debris
time.
floating in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. You guys know about that, right?
Darwinism. Yeah.
It's so big.
It's huge
Evolution.
and it's terrible, and they found that the Earth is trying to heal itself.
Is that Lex Luthor's island that he's creating?
the Great Garbage Patch. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the Earth
so
is
this
like enough of this garbage. Get it?
There's a lot of boo. There's a lot of bacterias out there
Yeah,
that
probably
will
gold.
degrade plastic, right? And there are a couple of other funguses that will do the same. But this one they're talking about specifically that they've just discovered is, we'll call it P album. The P is for a long word I can't find. Oh, Parangiodontium. Yeah, we'll call it P album.
Got it. Got it.
Yep.
I got another word for P.
I know you do. It uses
back.
basically, as long as it has plastic and light, it can sit there and degrade and eat the plastic.
This is
So-
great. They should
That's
just
kind of freaky.
they should culture this in a warehouse somewhere and then just mass deploy it to the patch.
Yeah.
Like, eat it.
Or in garbage
No,
dumps.
if that, yeah, I was gonna say, well, how do you contain that? Like,
What if it's invasive for other things, Owen?
if I go to the,
Like
Who
the
cares?
lionfish.
Unintended consequences are
Fix
not my
one problem,
concern.
create another.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
one
the next
problem at a time.
generation's
Yeah.
problem.
Like we
Spoken like a true person.
Yeah. Yeah, like a real person who wants to solve
saw
real
that-
problems.
I saw that GI Joe movie where they shoot that missile and it eats everything. This is gonna go bad.
That seems like a
once it
great
hits the
idea.
land.
Well, as long as it only eats plastic.
It won't be a
I
quick
look-
death. It'll be a slow, painful one. Don't worry.
Anything
It is-
that's made out of careful about your penises, though. Those have plastic in it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Oh,
keep
crap.
keep
It's
them
out there.
away
Oh
from
my
this fungus.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to the
Swiss
garbage patch.
cheese.
I'm canceling my vacation to
We
the
don't
garbage
want that.
patch.
You don't want
I'm
that.
not going up there.
So anyway, it could be one of those things that's part of a number of things, part of a number of options that could help us get rid of this plastic
Well,
waste.
fungus evolves really quickly, right? And every time I
don't
think
know,
of this,
does it?
I think, yeah, because that garbage patch has only been there for 50 years. I don't know,
Oh,
10
that's-
years.
that's pretty
I don't
fast.
know.
Yeah.
That's pretty fast in evolutionary terms. It just makes me scared. I do not
Is
want
it
Last of
evolution
Us.
though, or did it already exist and it just
No, it's
fed on
evolution.
other stuff?
So fungus,
Or
they do
the
this a
other
lot.
Plastics that are under the earth.
Have you guys heard of being turned into a mushroom patch when you pass away? Instead
Yeah.
of-
Yeah.
They had
Oh,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
specially culture that fungus to consume human flesh
Oh,
Ash.
oh.
because there's not a lot of mushrooms that natively do that.
Well, I don't like
And
that.
Anyway, it just makes me think of The Last of Us, and it just
Yeah.
they're like, the human species survived by out heating fungus. All fungus has to do is one generation of fungus that can survive at our
Survive
body
the heat.
temperatures.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Game
spoiler alert.
Owen, you've made me very sad.
I'm just,
Way to
I'm
ruin
just
my
saying-
story,
I'm
Owen.
just saying, the garbage patch could be the
Thanks a
beginning of
lot.
the end. Of it, the Earth is trying to heal itself.
It probably
if
was
you know what I
already.
mean.
I was going to
You
say
know.
the beginning of the end for many reasons, not
Yeah.
just this.
Yeah.
So, all right, Owen, let's talk about some space stuff. Let's get off the planet for a minute here.
Oh yeah. So, leaving our problems down here aside, we're gonna deorbit the NASA space station. The
That is if we can get
ISS.
the astronauts off of there, right?
Well,
Yeah,
ISS
that's a whole other-
it's not going to be
ISS.
deorbited for a long time.
It's 2029, so we got another 5 years or so.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're off by then, or else we're gonna have a
so-
real bad time.
Yeah. The
Well,
crew. I mean,
let's
that's a
say
side story I don't
if
have
they're
on
not-
here, but
If they're not off by then, they
this is the
they
best
don't
part.
need to
Is
come
that,
back.
Boeing. Boeing.
they'll be dead.
Yeah. So Boeing. As a side note, Boeing was like, we knew about the helium leaks. We just didn't think they were so bad. And now they're like, oh, here's some more. Oh, here's some more. Oh, here's some more. Oh, here's some more.
So there was an old saying, and I learned this in the really interesting Last Week Tonight with John Oliver story about Boeing and the history of Boeing. Came out, I don't know, 2 months ago. There used to be an old saying for pilots, and it was, if it ain't Boeing, I'm not going, because Boeing's reputation for quality was that much higher than every other aviation firm.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Now it's definitely not. It was the merging of McDonnell, I think it was McDonnell Douglas and Boeing that started the death spiral of Boeing's quality. McDonnell
But
Douglas.
okay,
Anyway,
so that is
go watch
that
that
aside.
thing. It's awesome.
That aside, they're going to use. So SpaceX won the bid to deorbit, and they don't exactly know what vehicle they're going to use. Falcon 9 rocket has enough propulsion to do it. I didn't know this, that they actually rate the propulsion in specific units to like how much something will cost. And it's like, so delta V is the burn, I guess.
You mean
I don't know
Delta
what that is.
5?
Delta 5. It could be Delta 5. I don't know.
It is
But
Delta
anyway,
5.
thank you, Delta 5. One of the options was to move the space station up into a stationary orbit, like geostationary up higher, but that would take 3,900 milliseconds of Delta 5 versus 47 to
to deorbit it.
To deorbit it.
That's a lot more.
That's a lot. Those numbers are bigger. And so, but they're thinking SpaceX because you can connect. SpaceX already has the ability to dock to the station and act like some kind of rocket. It's sad. I would love to see that thing come down gracefully and like go into a museum, because that's been a huge part of
could you
space
imagine?
science and anti-gravity and a bunch of. I mean, there's been so much science going on.
Could you
there.
Imagine how much propulsion it would take to bring it down gracefully?
To bring it down. Oh yeah. So the best they can do, they can't just deorbit this like other space garbage and let it burn up, because it won't. It will not burn up. It has a mass of 400 metric tons. It's about the size of an American football field. So they're going to deorbit it, which gives it a controlled crash. They're going to bring it down into the ocean. So, but they've got some options, and
this is the same thing they did
on
with
top of the
Mir,
garbage island. Soft landing.
yeah,
the Mir space station.
yeah. Maybe they just land it right in the garbage patch. Let that whole thing work itself out.
Do you guys remember when they deorbited Mir space station in early 2000s? Taco Bell had a promotion. They put a really big target out in the ocean and said if it landed in the target, they'd give everyone free tacos.
Did it land in there? I was.
No. The chances of landing it in that spot were.
Let's tweet that at Musk.
Astronomical.
We need to tweet that at Musk, and he'd totally be game for that. Oh,
yeah, he probably would.
I'm not going to do it, but I'm thinking about doing that. But yeah, the other thing is, now that the Breeze like, what are we going to do without the International Space Station?
Yeah, we need.
And
to
they're like,
one.
they're gonna offload it to private people now, and just like have astronauts hop around all over to different ones. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. They're going to deorbit it. 2029 is when it starts, and then they're going to have it deorbited by 2030. So
who won the bid, Owen?
No, Jaron.
Okay, I tried.
No, this time I'm on to you and your ADHD manipulating tactics. I almost did it though. I almost told you that it's SpaceX. SpaceX won the bid, Jaron.
So I think you won. All right, moving along to I need to rub this in Owen and Lang's face for a minute.
Perfect.
I was 100% right about the NVIDIA bubble. The NVIDIA bubble has deflated.
You?
Yeah.
Is it still?
You too, Jaron. You hopped on the bandwagon after I brought it up.
Did it deflate?
I did. I was the bandwagon.
No, I started it.
Yeah.
And then
I think it was Tony.
And then you said, yeah, it's a bubble.
But I was hoping it wasn't a bubble, but it was a bubble. And
It was
they've
bubble.
lost 12% now? 10%?
Something like that. I'd have to check for the most up-to-date numbers, but within a week of us doing that episode, it had lost $1.5 trillion worth of stock monies. So 500 billion.
Are they still they're not the richest in the country?
No. You can't lose.
Yeah,
you can't
do
lose.
that.
That much, 13% or whatever of your company's wealth, and still be number one. I think they're in the top 5 still, though.
Well, we also said Bitcoin was a bubble, but then it went up like 4x, then it went down, then it went up again, then it went down.
Yeah.
Now it's up again.
Well, I think Bitcoin was a bubble for a while, and I think it still is. We're just seeing the bubble inflate and contract and inflate and contract.
Like it's what do we call that? A correction, right? In the stock and investing world. So
this-
we did
yeah,
on
this
the
is a
21st. On the 24th, we saw a big correction. Like
Yeah.
they were down to 118 per share, and then they've corrected. They're about 124, I think, or 122 right now. So
yeah, this wasn't a bubble bursting, but it was definitely a correction.
yeah, for sure. Because NVIDIA's
so-
still got tons of value.
Oh, they do for sure.
But they were
They're-
just definitely overvalued for what they were
still
doing.
are,
Like,
in my opinion.
You think they still are? You think
as
there's
much
more
as
to
I
come?
love them, they're still overvalued.
Oof.
But they're about to sell.
Do you think
hundreds
they're
and-
overvalued when they release their new 5090?
Well, and of course not. As long as I get one.
Yeah.
As long as I get the chance to buy one, then they're not
Do you think their gaming chips are what are driving their sales, or do you think it's their
No way, dude.
AI
It's
stuff?
their AI stuff. 100%.
AI.
AI.
2 days ago, 2 days ago they were down 13%. That was the overall correction from when they
From its height.
started falling. Yeah.
So there you go. Let's talk about Delivery drones on Mount Everest.
Speaking of garbage.
Yeah, speaking of garbage.
So I'm really big into droning, and I get a lot of updates, and this story was really cool. Just how many folks go to Everest and leave all of their garbage, all of it. Now,
sometimes even themselves, as in their body when they die.
Yeah, exactly. So on the show notes, DJI Enterprise showed off this really cool story about this company using their drones are now taking garbage not only down from the top, which I still think is unbelievable because it's
I read about
air.
that. Well, I read about that too. I can't believe how much garbage is actually up there. Like it's significant.
Well, you want to give it some context. Is there's days when they post pictures of people waiting in line to reach the summit, and the line is like 100 people long, of just queued up to take your picture at the top and then walk back down.
Is Everest not a thing anymore? Is that not a?
It's too much of a thing.
It's not a feat anymore. Oh, the motivational posters just they did it dirty.
So, but this drone, if you get the chance, go. I mean, if you just YouTube drone Everest, I mean, you'll see this really cool drone that they're using to not only transport the garbage, but also to transport oxygen tanks back and forth to spot avalanches.
Oh, so these are
before
significant,
they come down.
Bigger ones then.
Very
those are heavy,
and it's really cool tech that they're using, especially since they did all the tests. They did all these really cool tests, loading and unloading all these different amounts
plus
of everything.
Plus the thin air and everything.
Whew. Yeah, and it's like minus 20 below, which temperature can really affect your drone really quickly. I'm
battery,
thoroughly
right?
everything.
Just the battery, yeah.
When the air temperature and density changes and all kinds of stuff.
I never want to try and fly it there, but this drone that they had, it's a special enterprise type. It's really cool. So go check it out just to see something cool, because I'm big into droning and I'm hoping to get my license soon. So I'm always all over this stuff.
Nice.
There's a license for droning?
Now there is.
Oh, there's 20
like commercial droning or something?
Mm-hmm. So I'll just segue real quick. A couple of years ago, they've been hyping up more and more rules when it comes to droning. Everywhere. Like they've switched back and forth to where before you couldn't fly at night, but now you can as long as it's equipped with the strobe. You couldn't fly over people, but now they're allowing that, probably because of a lot of pushback, because so many sports events, you actually see it fly into the stadium, and like WrestleMania, for example, and they're little FPVs, but still like so much pushback that the little FPVs, they're safe if they fall on your head. They won't hurt as bad as a Mavic 3 chopping up your head. So don't Google drone injuries. It's Freddy Kruegerish. So yeah, it's, if you're ever into droning.
And now, did they block people from doing droning over in all national parks too? Or like, do you have to have a special?
That depends on the park, and you can buy a license in some of them.
Yeah, it's a permit, and there's specific. Is it a waiver or permit? And depending on the areas, the event, for example, if you're making a movie, you can't do it from an open vehicle unless you have a permit for a specific occasion and times. In fact,
Ukraine's taught us that drones can be weaponized very well.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. And they even have a new device, and you should look it up for the soccer matches, like in Europe. It looks like a giant cannon.
It looks like
because
a bazooka.
You've seen it, right?
Yeah,
it looks like a bazooka, like, because people are flying their drones right to the edge of the stadium so they can watch the game, and then the officials and police will shoot this radar giant bazooka and take over the drone, so it flies and lands in front of them, and they confiscate it. So yeah. Anyways, don't take trash on Everest.
That's the point.
Don't leave your trash up on the mountain, jerks.
Maybe they can recover. Maybe they can recover bodies now. Like,
it's not just
that's the craziest thing, that as we get warmer, as the world's getting warmer, the ice is melting back on the face of Everest, and we're finding climbers from years ago.
It's decomposed bodies, and it's also leaving your trace up there, because up in the Himalayas it goes down to hundreds and thousands of little villages down below
the water.
you. So that's also big picture.
Yeah, there was a guy when we were going out to Channel Islands. The guy in the ferry, he said something. As far as leave no trace goes, he said, "Leave nothing but footprints, take nothing but photographs." I'm like, yeah, I really like that.
It's nice.
So if you're camping, if you're going out to the Everest, you're doing all the things, don't leave nothing behind.
What about rock dogging? I take rocks.
Well, aren't those like
Depends on where you're
designated
at.
areas to rock dog? Or
No, you just rock dog where the rock dogging takes you. Many rock doggers get in trouble for trespassing.
oh, really? Well, there you go.
Because they're like, that's a piece of jasper, but it's on the other side of that fence, and that fence says no
Oh,
trespassing.
you
but I
move
want
on to
that
the
piece of
private property. Oh,
Yeah, but I want that piece of jasper. I better go rock dog over there.
So are we just gonna go with that now instead of calling
I don't
it
know.
rock hounding like it should be? We're gonna call it
I
rock
can't tell.
dogging from now on.
It's totally growing on me. Like it's totally growing on me.
I'm a fan of the rock dog.
All right,
I like the
it's
rock dog.
It works on a lot of levels for me. So
All right, tell us about this CDK ransom event here. Owen.
man, have you guys tried to buy a car? Probably not. Nobody has.
For a while.
Who would?
In
Interest
this
rates are
economy,
insane. But CK is a software company, and just like a lot of the other big social services or whatever, they need a niche software to do what they do. Like this United Healthcare hack that just happened, they were using a very, very specific piece of software, and it usually gets stagnant. It doesn't get updated for years because it just works, and nobody wants to take the time to overhaul the foundational level of their business, right? Well, CDK is a spinoff of ADP, and it really got pushed by the automotive industry to have dealerships start using CDK as their entire software package, from customer data to inventory. I mean, everything is housed in CDK.
sales too, like sales.
Yeah,
It sounds like a POS system.
everything, right? And it's been around for a long time, like 20 years long, like long enough where, somebody's like, wait, what are they using? And have taken it and gotten vulnerabilities. Well, there's a security breach, and they had their backups destroyed, and then every system using CDK was encrypted and locked out.
Oh man.
Every computer using the CDK software is how they exploited this. And or at least the access to CDK, it was the access to CDK. CDK got corrupted, but it went to all of the databases for all of the dealerships that use it too, everywhere across the country. And it's a lesson about, diversifying and your clients, and doing single tenant stuff if you're a SaaS provider, to make it so that if there's a breach, it can be cut off at the one client, that did it. But nope, this one went out to everybody, and what it did is it encrypted all their stuff, blew away their backups, and now it's a ransom event. I believe they're paying the ransom. Latest news is this has been going on, by the way, for like almost 2 weeks now, or a week and a half.
Wow.
And they've just been unable to. I mean, dealerships have gone back to pen and paper to do sales and do business.
Cash only. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, and so I mean, how do you run a credit check and do everything? Every CDK handled everything, right? Like credit checks and referrals and banking information. And
Maybe
so,
it's time to go buy a car.
yeah, maybe you just buy one and then your paperwork gets lost. But they said this Thursday, but the 4th? I don't know, but they're saying this Thursday system should be coming back online. I know somebody that works at a dealership, and they sent her home. They were like, and I asked since she had insider information, I was like, has the dealership said anything? Like, have they announced what's going on? And they're just like, no. To them, as far as the employees at the companies know, there's like, oh, the system's down, but they have no idea. They're not really telling them the why behind it.
Yeah, not giving them details.
But I didn't read fully all the way into it, but I believe that this was a phishing attack or like a stolen credential issue is what got him the initial access into the system. So
How much is the ransom? Do you know?
I didn't see that. I didn't see it because they just changed it to a ransom event officially.
Oh.
I want to say they're demanding.
Yeah, this article's a couple days old.
It is, yeah.
I don't see anything. I don't see any totals, any money.
No, and it talks about. I mean, this article is interesting because it talks about other industries that are doing the same thing. Banking has the same problem. Healthcare, airlines.
Oh, yeah.
CDK held over 70% of the market in the dealership software.
50.
So, oh yeah. Wait, is that what it said? 50? I thought it was 70. Oh, that's the banking one. Sorry.
Yeah, CDK had 50. Something named
50.
Reynolds and Reynolds had 20,
Yeah,
and then everyone else combined was 30%.
Yeah. So they have 50% of
50%
the market.
of the freaking car lots across the country.
Can you imagine that?
Shut
Just
down.
50%. There's like, nope.
Well, think about how great the other guys are looking now that actually can sell a car. They're like, oh, come on over. Our stuff still works. Buy from us.
Yep.
That's crazy.
But
all right. Well, we'll see how that pans out and keep you updated.
Change passwords, people.
That's right. Let's see. Okay. Lightning round, real quick. I'm going to go with this one. This is a story of life trying to imitate art. There is a new proposed prison system called Cognify, and it aims to basically implant memories of being incarcerated into a person's mind so they can go through something, we'll say 10 years of incarceration in a few minutes instead of having to actually put them in prison for 10 years.
This is Blitz and Chips.
Yeah, this is Blitz and Chips.
This is it. Oh my gosh.
This is an episode of Outer Limits that I remember watching, and they reference it in this article. An episode of The Outer Limits from late 90s, early 2000s, starring David Hyde Pierce, Niles from Frasier, before he was Niles from Frasier, I think, or maybe during it. Anyway, it basically, you strap them in and hook their brain up to this machine, and it simulates 10 years of prison time in a matter of minutes.
What else could it simulate?
Well,
exactly.
Possibilities are endless. Possibilities are endless. But
forever.
Whole lot of rock
dogging.
The interesting thing about the episode of The Outer Limits, and I think it applies 100%, is the reason that the concept behind that episode was the creator of the program was there as they used it or tested it. Either way, they were using it on an inmate who was sitting there saying, I'm innocent. I didn't do what I got assigned to. I didn't do what I got accused of. And he was freaking out, and they strapped him in anyway. And his brain started to seize and everything. And so the way they had to do it was they had to put someone else in his place. And so David Hyde Pierce, the creator of the program, said, "Oh, strap me in, I'll do it." And he ran through the 10 or 20 year sentence or whatever in his mind. And the way it works when they put you in is you lose all concept of reality outside of it, right?
Yeah.
And so he didn't even remember that he was in there taking the place of the guy. He just thought he was guilty of whatever it was he was accused of. And he got out finally, and to him it'd been like 20 years, but it had been 10 seconds to the people in the room. Wow. And it's crazy. It's a really cool episode of The Outer Limits.
This is like Altered Carbon too. Remember that? Like their virtual prisons that they do for Altered Carbon interrogation rooms.
For interrogation, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, now the good thing is that none of the technology is there to do this yet. This is just a guy who says we should push in that direction, and hopefully everyone says no, that's a bad idea. He thinks that the technology we have could be available within a decade. His name is
this guy's from Yemen. I mean, you trust anything comes out of there?
Hashim Al-Ghalil.
It's Yemen.
Not Lisan Al-Gaib. Hashim Al-Ghali.
See, it worries me if he didn't watch that episode. Why did he think this up?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Life imitating art, crazy stuff. All right, Jaron, you got
Indeed, I do. Somehow nuclear energy is bipartisan. I don't know how this happened.
Oh, good.
I don't understand.
A broken clock is right twice a day, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't think this is possible anymore.
Unless it's digital.
Yeah, yeah. And it's once a day, which is probably the case here. Democrats are seeing it as decarbonizing, and Republicans are seeing it as energy independence. So,
Which both are correct.
yeah.
Don't get to say that very often when talking about our political system.
And it sounds great to me. Like it felt like we had the solution decades ago, maybe because we did.
I was going to say, well, it's really cool to see that.
Wait. Nuclear's been around for a while?
What? No.
Those mini nukes are what I want to do with the mini nuclear stations.
I
That
think
got shot down.
the voting for that went through 88-2.
Yeah, can you believe that?
No, absolutely not. What
That-
I bet one of the
not
two is
there?
Mike Lee.
That's
Guaranteed.
what I'm looking up because I'm
Who are the
fairly
two?
certain that he was one of the two. I got to find it though. God, that guy's such a dingus.
Seriously.
Anyway, so yeah, I saw that article too. I'm glad you brought it in because that's really good. That's what we need to do here. Oh, there's the yays and there's the nays. Oh no, not Mike Lee. Well, go figure. Marquet and Sanders.
Bernie Sanders?
Apparently,
That actually makes sense too.
yeah. Does Bernie Sanders represent Vermont?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's Bernie Sanders. So I am very surprised, but happy. This is great news. All right, moving along. Owen, your stories are all used up.
Yep.
Lando, you got this is a good one. Ads in Windows are getting worse.
Yeah, so Microsoft's gone too far, guys, by introducing Game Pass ads in the Windows 11 settings app. So, an update that will likely arrive in July. It's been in preview already, but held back for a different bug. But that's beside the point. They have ads for Game Pass in the settings app. So, if you like ads, this is the proliferation of more ads into your operating system. And I think it's nonsense. So
I agree.
yeah.
Like
I agree.
Windows is
Stupid.
becoming a dumpster fire. Have you seen the new weather app?
No.
Full of ads everywhere on
That's
that piece of
awful.
junk. It's basically just a web view now.
Here's the thing: if they're gonna adify everything like that, then the operating system needs to be free, or they need to give us credit for the ads that we watch to spend in their store. Something, you know what I mean? Like they can't, they can, but they shouldn't just start bombarding us with ads. That's freaking bullcrap, especially
Yeah.
for something that we pay for.
This will drive more people to Mac OS, and I wouldn't blame them one bit.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, there it is.
There
Fast,
you go.
fast.
And then Lang, you have a story about angioplasty.
Just a quick show and tell. It was fun. One of the researchers were showing off some of their research, and I came to find out where I work was where the first angioplasty was performed 60 years ago.
Oh, right.
And yeah, so it was really cool and learning about that, and like behind the curtain, it's mostly with pigs, and I get to work with pigs. So one fun story was I actually had to go in for a hernia surgery at my hospital where I work.
This doesn't sound
And-
fun.
Well, that part wasn't, but the funny part was that the surgeon came in and he's like, "What? Have I heard your name before?" I'm like, "Yeah, I work up here." He's like, "Oh, you're the pig guy, aren't you?" I'm like,
How cool is it to be known as the pig guy?
That's
because
me.
they've done studies and they've practiced with the pigs, and so I was in good hands. Thanks, my little piggies. So I actually I'm hoping I can do this. For those of you who are listening, you're missing out, but let's see if I can do this. That's not the worst. So
is
this right
that an
here-
angioplasty bubble?
This is a stent. Well, it's not the bubble. This is the
that's the
actual
stent.
wire mesh.
Yeah.
And this is made out of titanium. And this is really cool because it's activated with body heat when it expands. So this
Here,
one's
put it
already
back up.
expanded.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Put your hand behind it to.
So did your body heat just from holding it and make it expand?
No, this one was already
What's the-
used, and the presentation.
Used.
The presentation from the guy. That's not a bad view right there. The
that's
presentation
cool.
from the guy. There we go.
Oh, there it focused.
Wow.
So the guy, and that's even better. So this is a titanium one that then when they put it in and remove the bubble, after a minute it will expand in your body and create a stent, which I thought was
Open up those
freaking
collapsed
awesome.
veins.
yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
and I'm sitting here
support.
squeezing it and pulling it, and like a little fidget that doesn't make noise, Tony. And
That's pretty cool. Send me one.
and so this was just a lot of fun seeing this, and I just wanted to share it because, well, it's fun. Help desk us that doesn't have to deal with penises yet.
That's a win.
though.
Yet.
If those microplastics collapse stuff, you know,
Boing, right there.
Someday you'll be
There you
able to
go.
say, I got a titanium ding-dong. What do you got?
That's right.
got max
All right.
flow.
Very cool. Let's wrap it up. But before we go, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/helpdeskarcade. If you donate 6 shekels a month or more, you get a shout out on the air along with all the other neat things like the in-between and access to the Patreon Discord, etc., etc. Jaron has those names for us.
Thank you, and a big shout out to David Broshinsky, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keesaw, and Whifflemal Tony. Thank you guys. Jason Eatman, Mies Chonis, Owen's Codpiece. Jaron is super helpful. Ooh, I like that.
Put that in.
Be the 8-year-old, Jeremy, No Name, No Color, Keslow, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, the in-between rating +10, Matt Nelson, Harry Patch, Adam, Stuart Lloyd. The problem with society is there are no molehills that can't be mountain climbed over. Nailed it.
Pretty good.
Ryan
Good
M. and
practice.
Adam Hecht. I just needed 2 weeks off. That's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. You are awesome. That is it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for downloading. And if you want more, join us on the Geek Show Arcade. If not, just download this one again next week. You know, because it should be there.
Do you?
That's right. All right. That's it. Lando, take us out.
You know, when you're worrying about, microplastics in your penis, be sure to put on your tinfoil hat like Tony does. Be an end user.
That's right.